Jay Carly said, discipline I'm displaying right now is nothing short of miraculous. That means you're not being tempted, huh? Not being tempted. What happened with that 220? I don't know what it did because I wasn't here. I was still driving. Well, not even. I was here. I was parked just now, but I wasn't looking at the chart, trying to get this internet back up. But yeah. Somebody who asked the question before I got cut off. Oh, there was a backtick on that one? Okay. Somebody was asking me something before I got cut off just now. I think it was Jermaine. Oh, he was asking about the challenges. He was asking if I'm doing MRMH when I do the challenges. And I wanted to answer that because what I do when I'm doing challenges is I purposely don't adhere to the discipline of the framework, because I purposely want to show how you can, over time, elevate your skill up of where you just take trades based on confidence alone. You don't need anything to guide you into being forced to have that level of skill, if that makes sense. So it's like what the MRMH does is it forces you to not have to rely on skill elevation. Like, you don't have to become so good and so great at trying to fill out the market, you know, that you basically are putting yourself under that pressure to be that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, that's kind of what trying to get at about the challenges. The challenges are intended to not adhere to the framework on purpose. But I don't see him yet. Yeah, exactly. Stacy said, now I see why you need to do 45 and no on demo first. Yeah, because you know, like when you're dealing with the market, you got to realize that the fact that we have MRMH now, right? All right, so good. I see Jermaine back on here now. So Jermaine, I'm gonna finish answering the question that you had about the challenges. So the fact that we have MRMH means that you don't have to go through the discomfort of having to see all of these different types of things that the market can do that will cause you to lose, right? Instead of you testing out and trying to feel your way through and to navigate your way through that kind of on your own, because when you learn the framework and you're learning how to apply the rules and the parameters for the way that we take our trades, you got to remember that that's one part of the total picture, the total package. It's only one element. It's one phase. This is why I teach the way that I do now, and it's broken up into phases, because the first two phases alone are there just to prepare you for the level of precision that you must have when you apply parameters. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be precise when you apply the parameters. So when you hear me talking about feeling the market, what I'm mainly referring to is your ability to interpret the market. In other words, when you look at the market, do you understand what you're seeing at the time? Not are you seeing if the parameters are met or not, but do you see what the market actually is doing? That's the question. That's the actual question. So it takes you time to get to the point where you're able to do that on your own, independent of anybody else. So in other words, you're no longer asking anyone else their thoughts on what you see in the market. You're not wondering about what you're seeing. You know exactly what you're seeing, and then that is going to either turn into the willingness for you to take a trade, or no, you're not willing to take a trade based on what you see that the market is telling you at the time. So when you see me demonstrate the skill and the challenges, I purposely don't take the framework the way that we do it into consideration. And I just simply rely on my own confidence to take my trades during the challenges, because I want to show the confidence. I'm not trying to show what we do. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing challenges to show everybody the way that we do things and what you're being trained to do once you get in training. That would be silly, because it's like, well, for me to do that, first of all, no one even knows what they're looking at. And then no one understands the parts and the mechanisms that come along with not just the parameters and applying rules, but no one understands the dynamic of executing the patience and the discipline. See, like, all of that is a part of the training process. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't teach somebody outside of TA how to have patience. When you get into TA, you learn how to get patience, because it's incorporated into the framework of how we trade. Like, think about it. You gotta be patient to wait for MRMH. You see what I'm saying? So the most important personal development that you're learning to grow is the patience and the discipline part. And you're not going to be able to do that without TeamAlliance. You're just not going to do it. I have yet to see anybody do that without having the support of others that are on that same path and are, ahead of you as far as that development, and able to help to guide you into getting to the point where you're able to control yourself. Like right now, there's more than me, because of, it's like a seed. All of this began from what I've been capable of doing in the market, right? Like, this is how training started. Everyone that has been exposed to the way that I trade and to TeamAlliance, because when I say TeamAlliance, what TeamAlliance means is the things that I've learned over years and years of experience that I'm now giving through training. That's what TeamAlliance is. TeamAlliance is the application of all of the time, the years, the experience that I personally have accumulated, and now it's in the format of teaching and training other people. That's what TeamAlliance is, right? So when you look at all of the different ways that you see me trade in a challenge, you got to remember, I've been doing this for 27 years. Like this is going on 27 years of me being exposed to the financial markets. You see what I'm saying? 27 years. This person just came in, they just started yesterday. 27 years, 0 years. 27 years, 5 years. 27 years, 10 years. You see what I'm saying? 27 years is a long time. And there's people that have been trading longer than me. I just don't know them. And I don't know anybody that has, in my opinion, actually extracted certain things from their time and experience. I've been able, and I've managed to extract the most relevant parts of my, or I should say out of my experience in the financial markets. All of the lessons, all of the pain, all of the losing, all of that I've been able to extract the value from and give it to you guys when I train you, so that you don't repeat those same mistakes when you're in your development. You don't have to go through all of the pain that I went through over years. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to do any of that. So when you see me trade, you got to remember, I'm capable of I can move and bob and weave and maneuver in and out of the framework that you're being trained. Because remember, you're being trained not to lose. There's a difference between not losing and then learning how to do something. They're not the same thing. Learning how to do something is one thing. Learning how to avoid the things that can happen to you, that's something else. So what you learn first is how to avoid. That's why you waiting for MRMH, just as an example, it forces you to be disciplined. It forces you to be patient. You can't wait for MRMH without patience. Does that make sense? How you gonna wait for the permission if you don't have discipline? While you waiting, you off doing something else you ain't got no business doing. That's not discipline at all. You see what I'm saying? So if you are literally adhering to what you're being trained to do, you won't lose. You're not gonna lose. You're not gonna be taking trades either, and you'll understand why. So that's the major difference. And I mean, like, that right there is priceless. Like, people don't get that until they've been here for quite some time, and then they finally get to the point where they actually start to trade. And as they're trading, they're actually realizing and remembering everything that was said, like from the beginning of when they started training. And now all of that stuff becomes relevant now when you start to trade, because when you trade now, you're using real money. Now you're dealing with your emotions, you're dealing with yourself, you're dealing with your reactions, you're dealing with all of this stuff that's inside of you, and all of those things that you've been listening to over the course of you training here is in the back of your mind. And now that voice is coming out. Now you're starting to hear all of that stuff that you was hearing when you first started training, and you didn't understand, like, why you keep repeating that. Now it's coming up because now it's relevant to what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? But if you don't train that way and you try to do other stuff, like, all right, let me give you an example. What's up, Ariel? I'm going to give you an example of what people do. Some people in TeamAlliance, they'll see me do the challenges and they will try to duplicate what they see me doing in the challenge. Why? Oh, Mark got trades. Mark is getting trades. When you see me take trades in my normal account, right, and I post in the group chat, you see the size of those trades, right? Those are the trades that we should be taking. Those are the trades where we waited for MRMH. We waited for permission. And I'm there ready to take them just like you. And many times I'm taking those trades. Maybe a few others in the group are taking the trades, but the majority's not taking the trades. And it's like, well, how did you miss the very thing that you're being trained to wait for? You see what I'm saying? So either one of two things is going on. Either you're deviating, and if you deviate, you're not around when the trades come because you off doing other shit, or you're just not at the point where you feel comfortable enough to actually trade on any level. Some people are not even in the demo yet. Some people are not paper trading on live yet. So to me, demo and paper trading on live represents trading. If you're paper trading on live, you're trading. If you're in a demo account, you're trading. Why am I saying that? Because if you have a demo account, you should be treating your demo as if it is your live account. If you're paper trading on your live account, you're learning how to execute the same behavior that you're going to have when you actually go live with money. And it's not paper anymore. So you're developing the right habits by applying what you're being trained to do repeatedly, and you're doing that in practice mode. Practice mode is paper trading and demo. You see? That's preparing you for what you're going to do when it's real money. Now just think about that. If that's the case, listen, this is what happens. This is what happens when you do it correctly. And the most recent example I have to use is Jelani. Jelani is doing it right. He's on demo and he's paper trading on live. And he's not in a rush to go live with real money yet. He's literally waiting for MRMH. I don't hear about him taking no trades outside of the framework. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm using him as an example because he represents somebody that's actually doing it the way that it's going to prepare you to be like a daggone, you're going to be like a ninja. You're going to be like a sniper when you train like this. I'm telling you. You think I'm joking when I tell you when you go live, you start with $100, you're never going to lose. If you train properly, by the time you put that $100 in your money in your live account and start trading, you're going to make one deposit in your life. That initial deposit will be your only deposit. Follow what I'm saying. You're going to make one deposit. You was training before that. Or everything prior to that led up to the point that you get to when you're going to be trading with real money, and it's going to be exactly what you were trained to do. You're not going to deviate. You ain't going to do no other shit because you don't even know to do anything else. You only know to do what you've been training to do. You see what I'm saying? And now you're in position literally to change everything that goes on with you financially because of what your skill is capable of allowing you to do. Because now you in position. You trading live, you winning. Your account is growing. If you're not taking trades, you appreciate that because you're not losing. You're trained not to lose. You're being trained not to lose. Like people don't get that yet. You think that you're being trained to win. You're being trained not to lose. Winning is the byproduct. Winning is what's going to happen because you train not to lose. Think about championship teams that win all the time. They winning because they on defense. They defense be crazy. The defense, anybody can score. Look at the Golden State Warriors. Look how they play. Defense first. They're going to stop you from scoring first. And any one of them is going to shoot and score. They're not shooting all day. They don't have to. They play defense first. They win the game because the offense comes as a result of good defense. So this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand about how you're being trained. You are being trained not to lose. You're being trained to always be on the defensive first. Always. You always on defense. So the market can't tear you up because you are in observation mode, interpreting what you're seeing. You know exactly what you're looking at when you on these charts. You know exactly what phase of the protocol that you're in. Oh, we in phase 1. Yeah, we gotta wait for this right here to slow down. Oh, we in phase 2. Nah, this behavior ain't looking right. This is you talking to yourself. And the better that you get at doing this, the easier and the more seamless it becomes. You literally incorporate it into your everyday life and regular stuff that you're doing. Some of y'all are students and you go to school. While you studying, you can be training at the same time. Or, I don't know how your focus is. Let me not say that. Some people can't do two things at the same time. But when you finish your studies, you should be training. What do I mean? You should be just listening to training. Just listen. That information is going into your brain and it's conditioning you to remain patient, disciplined. Yes, exactly what Ariel is saying. You make it a routine. In other words, you incorporate it into everyday shit that you do. Like what you do every day. You know, you like just really think about what you do throughout the day. Most of the day, you're bullshitting. You ain't even doing nothing. That's precious, valuable time where you could be actually absorbing information that's conditioning you and preparing you to have a skill that puts you in position to always be able to make money in these financial markets. I'm trying to tell y'all that shit is so valuable. It's priceless. The skill set is priceless. It's not just about you knowing how to trade. It's you learning how to condition and control yourself. You training yourself to not be emotional when it comes to this. Look how cool I be when I'm on the chart. When you look at the contract sizes of some of the trades, you see some trades 50 trades, 65 contracts, 40 contracts, 35. Thousands of dollars on one trade. And I don't give a shit. It's not that I don't give a shit about losing any money. I don't give a shit as far as the emotional part. To me, ain't no difference between 50 and 1. I'm conditioned. My process is the same each time. 1 contract, 2, 4, 8. Well, we had 16, cool. 30, 50. There's no difference. Your execution, and see, this is what I'm saying about what training does. Training conditions you to be like this. Like this, you see how I am, my demeanor? I don't care. Man, I wish I could, be like that. You're being trained to be like that. This is what I'm saying. Yes, as Ariel said, learning a skill for life takes patience and discipline. The skill is patience and discipline. That's what you're learning. Like the skill that you think that you're learning as far as learning about the market, that's the secondary part. The actual part that you're learning is patience. That's the real skill you learning. Jay Carly said, people that aren't on TA literally don't get what's happening right now. This mad training for you right now. It really is. Like this is like high level boot camp, Navy SEAL Marine type training that you're getting right now. Because you're being conditioned. Like when you come on here and you're on the lives with me, I'm telling you being exposed to some very powerful energy. And it's not hype. This is real shit that we talking about right now. Like this everything that we discuss is relevant to you. What do you think patience means? What does it mean? You see what I'm saying? Patience has to do with you. Discipline, that's you. Ariel said, and I'm still learning, even though I've been MIA lately. Even when you go MIA, when you come back, you pick right back up where you left off at. Isn't it crazy how like they'll step away for a minute from being, in the environment, in the immediate environment. They'll step to the side. They'll be drawn back in. Why? Like why? Why do you get drawn back to this? Because it never changes. It's the same. It's the same. Exactly where you left it when you step to the side is exactly where we still are when you come back. You see, when you come back, ain't nothing changed. There's nothing new? No, ain't nothing new. Patience and discipline. That's it. What do you mean anything new? Nope. And see, that's what in the beginning, like when I first started doing this, that used to surprise people, because they were like, it's probably like anything else, eventually it's not going to work anymore. You don't even know what you're really learning. You think that you're learning a strategy when you get here. Then you realize that you're actually learning life lessons. Life lessons are the reason why we win in the market. You ain't winning in the market because you got a strategy. You winning in the market because you able to just sit here, relax, be patient, remain disciplined, and not do shit until the market gives you enough information to know exactly what to do and make money. Like, damn, what? That's what goes on. That's what we doing. Exactly. Look at the vibes. Ariel said, because it never does change. Exactly. Jermaine, when you say different nuances with different pairs, what do you really mean? Ain't it all the same with MRMH? It's the same, but you got to understand that each market has its own set of it's like it has individuality. So the way that you become accustomed to seeing the way one market behaves, a different market don't do the exact same thing. And you got to remember that you're still learning about nuances. So you can't discern between what one market may be doing at the time and what a different market is doing at the time. You trying to figure out what both are doing, and what it does is it removes your focus from understanding what either one is doing. You're not getting a full understanding of one of them when you try to spread yourself out between multiple markets. That's what it is. And what happens is, I've seen it happen time and time again. Anytime somebody don't focus on their market and they try to jump and hop around, they get distracted and they lose focus. So what are they getting distracted by? They're distracted by the nuances of the market that they hopping into. You don't know what this market actually does. You don't know what it does. What you're doing is you're applying the framework, yes. But you got to remember that the reason that it works is because you work. It's because of you. It's your understanding of the way that you have to control yourself during the process of being in the market. You got to control yourself at all times. And when you don't, that's when the market tears you up. The market is waiting to tear you up. It can't wait. It's waiting for you to get thirsty, anxious, to run out of patience, and to take a trade. And by the time you end up in the trade, after the trade, you got to go back and you like, wait a minute. Damn, I just took a trade and I ain't even had permission to take no trade. Why did I take that trade? You see what I'm saying? And what people will do is they'll justify why they took the trade instead of understanding that there was no trade to take. You can't compromise. You can't just say, oh, well, I took it looked pretty good. What the hell does that mean? What does pretty good mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't even define what that means. Like, what do that mean? Nope. Nope, can't even define what it means. What the hell I just do? I don't even know what I just did. Yes. That is exactly right. Let me scroll back up real quick. Each market has its own language and they sound similar, but you must learn the dialect. See, you gotta love J. Carly. She been around so long, she understands, like, how to interpret my interpretation. That I couldn't even said that better myself. Listen to what she said. Each market has its own language and they sound similar, but you must learn the dialect. It's like if you from New York. When you in New York, I can pick up on the difference between somebody from Brooklyn and somebody from Queens. Me. I've been exposed so long to the dialects. People in Queens don't sound like people from Staten Island. Long Island people don't sound like Brooklyn people. Every borough has a dialect. They got a certain, it's all New York accent, but there's a difference. There's differences. Differences. Ariel said, tear you to pieces and leave you tore. The market can't wait. The market is, and I'm saying that the market can't wait, but really the market doesn't care. It's like the market don't even know that you're there. The market is just being the market and doing what it does. Like, I like to say that because that's kind of what it feels like. The market is a big ass monster, this big bully that's just waiting to punch you in the face. It feels like that, but that's not really what it is. The market don't know you from a can of paint and don't care nothing about you. But what does go on is the way that you're able to interpret the market. The market, like you able to navigate and trade and do what you do undetected. Nobody knows that you taking trades and winning. Nobody knows that you started with a small account and took it to a big account. You know, because you know what you're doing. You just execute. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Like, so training prepares you on so many levels for everything that you're going to face when you get into the market and when you expose yourself. Because you got to realize every time that you're in the market taking a trade, you're exposing yourself to the market. So the more of that you do, the more dangerous it can be if you don't know what you're doing. Bottom line. You don't know what you're doing, the market is going to tear you up. Not because the market is out to get you, but because you don't know what you're doing. You just don't know what you're doing. But yeah, but that's, you know, those are good questions. Those are very good questions. Jermaine, that loss I took last month, I learned my lesson. It only took one loss for me to learn to really follow the protocol. 7-1 so far since live. See? And I didn't even know that you were actually live. And it's, you know, I'm glad that we have these conversations because, like, you know, like that type of stuff comes up where somebody is actually letting me know that they're live. And the fact that you're live, that means that more than anything, you need to be able to apply discipline and patience, because this is when it counts. Everything that you have done or will do when you are in practice mode. So in other words, when you're trading on paper, on live, or if you're in demo, the things that you are beginning to do then is creating the habitual stuff that you're going to do when you go live. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to wait until you live to start doing things that you might have been doing when you were practicing. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes what people will do, they'll do something in practice mode and they'll get away with it. And then they'll carry over that same behavior and that emotion that went away with the sin win. And I'm saying sin win because if you got away with it, it means that you won the trade, but you shouldn't have even been in the trade in the first place. So then you carry that behavior over with you when you go live. You might have tried to sweep it under the rug, but your brain don't forget. Your mind does not forget. And it's there. That behavior is there. And if you did not deal with it properly, through execution of not doing that, then it's still there. It can come up at any time. And if it comes up when you live, the worst thing that can happen is you win that trade. So losing is actually a good and a valuable thing for you, because it is helping you to see how you deviated. It's letting you know what you actually did to deviate away from the process. You did something somewhere. You may not be able to pinpoint exactly what it is or when, but that does not take away from the fact that you actually did something. You know what I mean? So a loss is a good thing, because the only reason that you're going to lose is if there is some level of deviation from the protocol. That's it. If you follow the protocol and you are conditioned, you are not going to lose trades, period. And see, don't mistake me saying that with saying you can just wild out and win everything. That's not what I'm saying. When I say you will not lose, what I'm saying is that you will be avoiding loss all the time. Losing situations, you're going to be dodging them. You're not even going to be in them conversations. Like, it ain't even going to be an issue for you. You're going to be looking like, damn, somebody just got slapped. Somebody got smacked up right there. Framework, protocol, keeping you out of all of that bullshit. You seeing what the market is capable of doing to people. You right there witnessing it. You like, damn, somebody just got smashed. You know what a smash looks like. Come on, man. Like, and see, this is what I mean, like, with the nuances. Nuances is when you see like 5-second slaps, 10-second slaps. You seeing some bullshit happen at the very end of the binary, and you like, whoa. Thank God for what we do. I know ain't none of us in that one. You realize how powerful that is to be able to say that? You able to say, yo, I know ain't none of us in that shit, just by looking at the market. You sitting there watching, you are conditioned to apply what we do. Soon as you see any type of tomfoolery, it's a DQ. Nope. No trade. Nope. No trade. That one was close, but no trade. We might be getting there. Still no trade. Yeah, we getting close. It's almost there. No trade. Still out of sync. No trade. You see what I'm getting at? You're avoiding losing situations or potentially losing situations. You don't realize how valuable that is. It's invaluable. It means that your trajectory is a constant up. Your account gonna just grow. You're not gonna lose your trades. You ain't gonna be in the market and be exposed to getting slapped by the market. Come on, man. You know the market better than everybody else out there trading. Jermaine said, I'm kind of glad I took the loss. I wasn't even mad because I knew the why. Come on, man. Come on. How many people out there right now losing and don't know why? They losing and hurt and they wondering why. Damn, but I don't know what happened. It worked last time. What do you mean it worked last time? That sounds like you trying to curve fit the market to me. It sounds like you using some type of strategy or some type of method. You found a pattern, right? And that pattern is supposed to work, what, 85% of the time? 8 out of 10? All right, well, you got punched in the face by one of the times when it don't work. I don't want to be bothered with 8 out of 10. Come on, man. And this is what I'm saying about, like, what it took to get to the point that we're at now, where it's not that we feel like we invincible. We respect the market so much that we never put ourselves in a vulnerable position for the market to make an example out of us. In a nutshell, that is what we do on Team Alliance. We are not going to overexpose ourselves to the market so that the market can make an example out of us. That's it. It had nothing to do with ego. Oh, y'all think y'all all that because y'all be winning some trades. No, we don't think that we're nothing. We know what we're doing and we execute, and the results speak for themselves. Come on, man. Right now, we got students right now ain't lost in 10 months, 6 months, 4 months. Even, those of you that are taking way fewer trades, you might be 0-0 for the week. You didn't lose. You won 0 for the week. You won a trade and you didn't lose. Come on, man. But you realize how many people's out there, they 25 and 4? They won 25 trades, lost 4, and they make no money. Come on, man. Yes. Right. They don't know why they took the trade. Exactly. Shots fired. They don't know why they even took the trade. How are they going to know their why they lost? You don't even know what you was doing in the trade in the first place. Why? You can't figure out why you lost. Stacey said 85% means that you're going to lose the majority of your trades. Come on, man. Come on. Exactly, because you know that you're going to overtrade. You know that. Soon as somebody here, oh yeah, this right here, this is 85% win, 90% win. Okay, 90% win. To me, it sounds like that one that you'll lose, you might take that trade about 10 times on some crazy shit. You take that trade 10 times. So what was 1 now becomes 5 losses because you can't determine at what point it's going to come. You don't know when the loss is coming. I want this thing to cut off on me again. Let me get off of this. I'm going to get on YouTube Live in a little while. I'm going to let this phone cool off. All right, I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.